I hope everybody is doing well and having a great day so far. My name is Carmen Chu. I serve as San Francisco's newest city administrator. By way of background for folks who may not know, I previously served as San Francisco's elected assessor and have actually just started in this new role as city administrator about a little bit more than 2 months ago now. So it's been a very quick transition with a lot of exciting things. And I'm so excited today to be able to welcome you and to really give some opening greetings as we start and kick off this Civic Bridge Showcase. I think when I think about public service, for me, I've been in public service for about 16 years now, and I started off in the city first as an analyst working under then Mayor Gavin Newsom's administration, and eventually became his deputy director of budget and finance. Eventually, I came on the board of supervisors and served as an elected member of the legislative body of the city and county of San Francisco. I then became an assessor, elected assessor for the city, overseeing a department of 200 plus individuals who had a pretty important mission in terms of ensuring that our property tax base, one of the largest revenue sources for the city, was handled correctly, well, and that we were really maximizing all of the technology, the improvements, the skills that we had to bring to bear to it. And when I think about all of these different roles that I have been in, the honest truth is that the thing that drives me, and I think the thing that probably drives you and so many people across the city, is just this desire to serve and to solve really hard problems. There is no shortage of difficult and challenging problems that exist in our country and in our city, whether we're talking about how to connect people who are from disadvantaged communities to vaccinations, or to housing, or to a whole host of different services, whether we're trying to solve the issue of how do we improve street sanitation and conditions, whether we're trying to deal and tackle with the issue of how do we create more affordable housing, how do we limit or how do we reduce the expense that we see in permitting and some of the challenges that we see in those processes. There are no, again, shortage of difficult questions, difficult solutions that we need to come up with in order to help improve public services generally for people. And so, again, I think the thing that is most satisfying in all of my roles has just been how do you bring all of the best minds together in order to bridge these gaps, in order to make sure that we put the best ideas forward out there. Because at the end of the day, when we can deliver good services, when we can actually make a difference, what we see is that we impact very directly the lives of our citizens and the people around us. San Francisco is a place where we set the trends for the rest of the nation to follow. And when we do things right, you see models replicated time and time again across the country. And so I couldn't think of a more important partnership than the Civic Bridge partnership here. This is an opportunity for us to really bring to bear not only the passion and the people that we have within our city government to solve some of these large challenges of the day, but to work in collaboration with our partners all across the city in the private sector as well. You bring to the table a lot of different ideas, perspectives about how we might want to approach some of the public policy challenges that we have. And we also bring to bear what it means to actually operationalize and to solve and be working through some of these challenges head on. And so we really value the partnership that you have brought to the table here. The other thing that I think is so exciting about this program, and I'm so glad that you have all joined us here, is just the idea about really trying to put our heads together to create tangible results for the city. I mean, we're talking about real things that help to move the dial for folks. And so some of the things that I know that the teams here have worked on that have been incredibly important include making housing resources accessible across the city, especially when we're talking about how do we have more racially diverse and equitable services being distributed across the city. You have helped us with creating a framework for communications for our frontline workers, especially at the airport. You have helped to make sure that we make our city services accessible for our transgender and gender nonconforming communities. Not only that, you've also continued to help us evolve in terms of our entrepreneurship and e-commerce digital skills training programs across the city. So again, I just want to say thank you to you in advance for all the work that you have already done. I'm excited to see all the amazing work that you have done through this showcase, but also excited for the opportunities yet to come. Stepping into my new role as city administrator, I hope that we'll be able to continue to focus on some of these efforts to improve services internally, how we do business within the city. But not only that, ultimately doing that in order to improve services for people who are outside, who really need us. Those in our communities who are most marginalized, who really could benefit from an extra hand. That's what, at the end of the day, we're talking about. Public services that have real and deep, meaningful impacts for people who are living out there and need a hand. So again, just want to say thank you to you. I couldn't think of a more fulfilling profession than public service, and this partnership is one way in which we move the dial even further than we could otherwise do ourselves. So thank you very much, and look forward to today's presentations.